Hey everybody, this is Lord Tremendous. I got another battle report for you. This is a 2,500 point battle me versus Lord Rigel, the Lizardman. Yes, it's a rematch. So yeah, it was actually a pretty good game. Alright, as always, here's my army list. I've got my general, the Lord Demon Prince, Mark Nurgle, Lord Tremendous. He's got Chaos Armor, Wings, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, Other Trickster Shard, Soul Feeder, Scaly Skin, Poisonous Slime, and he uses the Lore of Nurgle. Because it's the best. He's backed up by the Exalted Hero, Canker the Festering. He's got Mark Nurgle, BSB, Sword of Change, Enchanted Shield, Pigeon Plucker Pendant, Chalice of Chaos, and Hideous Visage. And last but not least is the Chaos Sorcerer, Rashlar the Possessed. He's a level 2 wizard with a Mark of Tzeentch. He's got a Dispel Scroll, a Dragon Helm, and the Lore of Tzeentch. Needless to say, my characters are awesome. My core, I've got pretty much the same as you've seen before. 23 Chaos Warriors with the Mark of Nurgle, Full Command, Hand Weapon Shield, Banner of Eternal Flame. I've also got a unit of 20 Chaos Warriors, all marked Tzeentch, Full Command, Halberds, and the Blasted Standard. They are followed by my special choices, the 5 Hellstriders, the Pleasure Riders, Banner and Musician, Spears and Shields. I've got my Chimera. He's still got poison attacks and regen, because it's just how I kid him. I've got the Gorbeast Chariot of Nurgle, which I'm on the fence about with this one. I'm toying with maybe throwing in a War Shrine instead of the Gorbeast. I don't really think I'd ever get the spell off. It's just, I don't know. I don't think I'm using the Chariot to its full potential. That's probably more me than the Chariot, though. Maybe I'll leave it in. Who knows? And, of course, my only rare choice is the Mutalith Vortex Beast. Lord Rigel's list, and I actually did get information, finally, because I'm learning. He's his heroes and lords. He's got his Slan, Lord Rigel. He was the general. He's got Harmonic Convergence, which I think is the thing that gives him +2 channeling dice. He's got the Channeling Staff, which makes him channel out of 5 up, and he used the Lore of High Magic. And if you're wondering why his Lord seems to have so few things, is because he had 2 Lords. He had Osiris Old Blood as well, with the Armor of Destiny, the Dawnstone, a Great Weapon, the Other Trickster Shard, and he was riding a Cold One. His heroes, he had a couple of Scarvets. The first one was on a Carnosaur. The Carnosaur had Blood Roar and Swift Stride. He had a Spear, the Talisman of Protection, and the Enchanted Shield. So needless to say, he was easy to wound. His other Scarvet was just the obligatory BSB with a Banner of Discipline. Yeah, I really don't understand that choice. Could have easily put it on the other Scarvet or the Slan and saved yourself a ton of points. But that's what he had. He might have had a great weapon too. It really didn't matter. His core choices were a block of 28 Saurus Warriors with full command, spears and shields, and a unit of 25 Saurus Warriors with full command, hand weapon, shield, and possibly the Banner of Eternal Flame. I'm not 100% on that. I got his kit out for his characters, not for his whole army, so what can you do? His special choices were his Bastillodon. He had the Pew Pew Gem, that power level 3 laser gun that does random amounts of damage if it hits you. You know, the thing that you should never let go off unless you're just begging for punishment. And then his rare choices were Stegodon with a giant bow, and it had sharpened horns, and Ancient Stegodon with the Engine of the Gods, and it had sharpened horns. So yeah, it was actually a very tiny list. It was kind of nice. These are my spells. You know, 2 from the Lore of Tzeentch, 3 from the Lore of Nurgle. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Oh, yeah, I don't think it was in there, but my Lord was a level 3 caster. Yeah, I kind of forgot to put it in there. Anyway, here's Lord Rigel's spells. He used High Magic. Yeah, it kind of shocked me, too. He kind of regretted it by the end of the game. I think he's going to start using Shadow or something like that. But, yeah, those are his spells. Here's deployment. As you can see, it was he deployed kind of interesting. Very denied flank, very compact. I kind of followed suit. Most of my armies to the right, but I put the Hellstriders off to the left, and I was really just looking for an opening with them. Yeah, here's pretty much his whole army, starting from right to left. There's his Scarvet on a Carnosaur. The Scarvet is invisible, so yeah, he's there. You just can't see him. Right next to the Carnosaur with the Scarvet is his unit of, I think, 25 hand weapon and shield guys, all full command. Saurus Warriors there, yay. Right next to them is the Bastillodon with the Pew Pew gem. The Pew Pew gem is also invisible, but it is there. Behind the Bastillodon is his general, the level 4 Slan of high magic. Right next to them is the bigger unit of Saurus Warriors with spears and shields. There's the Old Blood on a cold one, and the BSB is the little base painted black guy right there. No banner, but yeah, we know it's there because it's in the list. Right next to them on the hill is the Stegodon, Ancient Stegodon. The white and green one is the Ancient Stegodon. He's got the Engine of God, so it should be easily discernible. And next to him is the, thorn in my side, the Stegodon with the giant bow, sharpened horns, everything. So yeah, I was thrilled to see him again. My deployment, as you can see, the Mutolith was on my right flank, followed right next to him by his buddy, the Chimera. Going up the hill of the pyramid is my Gorby's Chariot of Nurgle. I just thought it would be cool to try to have that rampant up there. Right next to him, teetering precariously on a couple of dice, is my Demon Prince of Nurgle and my general. Right next to him are my Chaos Nurgle Warriors with hand weapon shield and the BSB installed. And yeah, right next to them on my left flank, we've got the Tzeentch Warriors with halberds. Right behind them is my Chaos Sorcerer, level 2, Mark Tzeentch. And on the far left side are my Hellstriders. And yeah, they're just gonna. My plan with them was to run around his rear and try to go for a target of opportunity. So yeah, he wins the roll to go first, turn 1, because he actually finished deploying before I did. And yeah, he moved up like Hadith. Not too much movement. He was very careful. I think his Carnosaur moved the furthest. But everything else just kind of turned to look at my warriors. It was like he was ignoring the two big monsters and stuff like that. So it kind of threw me off a little bit. During his magic phase, he actually irresistible force through, what's it called? Walk Between Worlds. Yeah, on his Carnosaur. And he fired him up 20 inches because he used a big one. And he got right next to my Mutolith. So I was actually concerned at this point. I wasn't 100% what I was going to do. In order to deal with a big, angry Carnosaur with a Scarvet in my back ranks there. His misfire was like an 8 or something, and I think he took a strength 6 hit and lost the rest of his dice, but he was able to easily ward save it. Bottom of turn 1, after movement, looks something like this. My Mutolith went back to deal with the Carnosaur, try to put some pressure back on him. My Demon Prince, the idea here was to block him from hitting my Chimera. I didn't want the Carnosaur into my Chimera. I was really concerned about that. So I put my Demon Prince there, and since he's unbreakable, I gave him my rear, thinking that he would charge him, with all that extra combat res. I didn't want to win by combat res because the Demon Prince is unbreakable. I wanted to win by just killing the Carnosaur. So I thought giving up my rear like that was a good idea. Turned out to actually kind of bite me in the ass. But I also wanted to be able to, if the Carnosaur backed off, to go after the Saurus Warriors or the Bastillodon or whatever he was going to do during his movement phase. The Gorby's Chariot, I don't know what I was thinking. I just moved him up. I should have moved him over to the left. I just wasn't thinking. The Warriors move up full blast because I just need to get him into combat. And the Hellstriders zoom around because I see his Slan there. And at this point, I'm thinking, if I can get my Hellstriders around and hit that Slan in the flank or the rear, my mounts have magical attacks. Because I thought he was ethereal at this point. I had no idea he wasn't ethereal. But I thought his Slan was ethereal, so I thought my Hellstriders, the mounts, the Steeds of Slash or whatever, would be able to do a few wounds or at least have a chance to do some wounds against him. And yeah, beat him in combat res and maybe run him down. So that's what my plan was here. I was going to run those little guys around as fast as I could. During my magic phase, the Mutolith gets his spell off, and I make the Carnosaur stupid. I absolutely love the Mutolith. He makes everybody stupid, which is great. Because anytime your opponent rolling dice against their will, it's a good thing for you. Other than that, nothing else really happened. There was no combat yet. Top of turn 2, before movement, as you can see, everything pretty much stayed the same. After movement, yeah, basically his stuff moved up a little bit more, and he got a charge off, I believe, with his Saurus Old Blood on a cold one, yeah. His Carnosaur also charged my Gorby's Chariot. Yeah, I wasn't going to stick around for that. Strength 7 Carnosaur that does multiple wounds into my Nurgle Chariot, whose Gorby's wouldn't have been able to attack. I just saw that as a really terrible thing to take. So I fled. And I didn't think about the angle before I fled, and he bounced through the Nurgle warriors, the Tzeentch warriors, and ends up right where you see him. And he kills off 5 of my Nurgle warriors, 4 of my Tzeentch warriors. Yeah, it was just ouch. Yeah. So that was stupid on my part, but a good charge on his. So what can you do? And yeah, I'd be lying if I said that the Carnosaur didn't enjoy the hell out of that. Passed the stupidity check all game, so don't even ask yet. The stupidity, while it doesn't really affect anything, it was still nice to make him roll dice. But yeah, the Carnosaur was proud of himself. Basically, he killed 9 Chaos Warriors, and made a Gorby's Chariot flee. Right there, you can see his old one, or his old blood on a cold one, made it no problem. Into my now depleted ranks. Here's what it looked like. Combat with that one was, as you can see, I took a wound on my BSB. I rolled all 4 dice, needing 3s to hit him, and I hit once, and I couldn't get past his armor save. So he's got a 1-up, so it went to a 3-up. I have the Sword of Change. But yeah, I couldn't hit him, and when I wounded him, he was able to easily make a save. He has a 1-up rerollable armor save because he got the Dawnstone, and then he had a 4-up ward afterwards. But I never made it past his armor. So yeah, the BSB flubs, but with combat res, I make it no problem. But yeah, he's able to stay. So yeah, bottom of turn 2, this after movement. As you can see, my Chimera makes it into the Bastiladon, and my Demon Prince just says, screw it, I'm going in, and goes into the Saurus Warriors, figuring they have to kill me. They're strength 4 to my toughness 5. I got a 1-up, 5-up. Basically, I'm doing the same thing as his old blood on a cold one. I'm just going in and relying on my superior stats to just basically kill every single one of the Saurus Warriors and get me the points. Over here, you can see that the Hellstriders are stalking the Slann a little bit more. Shh, be very, very quiet. And yeah, my magic didn't do anything, so, and I don't have any shooting, as everybody knows, so yeah, my BSB, he swings away again, misses 3 times, hit once, failed to wound, and his old blood just decimated my stupid BSB. So he got killed again. Yeah, just unfortunate that he just can't seem to hit, needing 3s. But I'm not going to change his kit. I like his kit. I just think it was my dice rolling. But yeah, and his superior stats, a lord versus a hero. That's probably the way it should have went, but it still broke my heart. I still win combat, and he still makes his break test no problem. Over here, my monsters start doing what they're paid to do. The Chimera puts a couple of wounds on the Bastiladon, wins combat, but the Bastiladon stays. My Demon Prince gets challenged by his unit champion. I have to accept, and I paste his unit champion. I think he still wins with combat res, but I'm unbreakable, so who cares? Top of turn 3 looks a little something like this. In my turn 2, the Gorby's Chariot did rally, and as you can see, he turns the face and stuff like that. But yeah, his Ancient Stegodon charges into my Nurgle Warriors, and that's gonna suck. I knew the minute he made that charge that unit was in a lot of trouble. So yeah, here's top of turn 3. After he's done moving, the Carnosaur goes up on top of the pyramid after easily passing his stupidity check, and yeah, his warriors angle a little bit, but for the most part, there's not a whole lot of movement. The little stag, he moves down to come and face some stuff. I really don't know what he was looking at with that. He gave the Gorby's Chariot and my Tzeentch Warriors a beautiful flank shot into the little stag, but yeah, I honestly don't know what he was thinking about, but that's probably part of the point. Yeah, his magic doesn't do a whole lot, but his shooting phase was negligible. I think he took a pot shot at the Mutalith and missed. But yeah, that combat. Whoo, that combat. I think I was able to put a wound or 2 onto Ancient Stegodon. My unit champion got into it with his old blood on a cold one, and I think it was a big flub fest. I wasn't able to hurt him, and I think he just missed me because he needed fours. But yeah, I think he flubbed. I think he rolled like 4 or 5 ones and twos. It didn't work out for him. But the Ancient Stegodon pulverizes the unit, as you can see by the tangled mess of bodies there. And after all is said and done, thunderstomps and everything, he wins combat by a landslide. But I'm steadfast, even though I can't feel my legs anymore. So yeah, that unit I'm trying to figure out how to save at this point, because it's basically a monster and a lord just pulverizing this poor unit. Over here, the Chimera, thankfully, splatters the Bastillodon, and my Demon Prince continues his, to just munch up some Saurus warriors. And you can go ahead and ignore that Bastillodon that's painted black and orange there. The guy who's leaning against it was painting it, and he put it on the table to watch the game. So that's not part of the army or anything like that. That's just random chaff. Bottom of turn 3, this is after movement. My Tzeentch warriors slam into the Ancient Stag to try to bail out the Nurgle warriors. The Gorby's chariot slams into the regular stag to, try to get some points. The Chimera comes into the Ancient Stag to just try to kill it. I'm desperately trying to save the Nurgle warriors, and it's just mad dash after this point. After combat, as you can see, the Tzeentch warriors, although they did fail their fear check, they were hitting on 5s, wounding on 5s, and they managed to still kill the Ancient Stegodon. I rolled out of the box. However, my unit champion did get splattered by the Old Blood this time without putting a wound on him. And even though I won combat by a landslide, the Old Blood rolled snakes, 3 dice, and he actually rolled like a 6 and 2 1s. So it wasn't even a contest at that point. The Chimera turns to face in case the Carnosaur got froggy, and the Tzeentch warriors really couldn't move anywhere. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me to move them, so I just left them pretty much like that. Top of turn 4 after movement, the Carnosaur charged after passing a stupidity check again without any kind of problem. He turns and slams into the Nurgle warriors. You can pretty much guess what happened there. I'm sorry, in the last turn, my Gorby's chariot flubbed. My impact hits were going to be, I rolled a 6, but it was cocked, and we have a store rule that if it's cocked, you re-roll it. And so I re-rolled it, and I re-rolled like a 2. I did 4 impact hits, and none of them damaged the Stegodon. I think I lost that combat, but I was able to stay. But yeah, in this one, the Carnosaur comes down to just finish off my poor Nurgle warriors. What a bum deal they got in this one. 2 monsters and a lord just pulverizing them. So yeah, Nurgle warriors did not get a lot of love this game. Yeah, as you can see, is this the end? Or is this just fantasy? No, it was the end. Yeah, totally just annihilated him. I don't even think he had to do thunderstomps. The whole unit is just vaporized and removed from existence. However, my Demon Prince takes a cue from all that and pulverizes a ton of the Saurus warriors. They're still steadfast, so they still stick. Over here, my turn, bottom of 4. This is before movement. As you can see, the board pretty much looks the same. The Carnosaur, who now has Blood Frenzy, after pulverizing the Nurgle warriors, had to, overrun. And he only went like 4 or 5 inches, not very far at all. And the Saurus Old Blood on a cold one just turned to face the Chimera. And then, boom, my Tzeentch warriors turned to face the Carnosaur because I don't think I could have charged it. I don't remember exactly why. I think it was just a matter of not being able to wheel around. And my Chimera went into the Old Blood. I figured at strength 3 or strength 6 with poison attacks, he'd have rerollable 4s and then an extra 4. I was hoping to just get a few wounds through. I was hoping to really hit him with poison, and anything else that got through, hopefully just take him down. I only needed 4s to hit him. I was feeling pretty confident about that one. Yes, eat hot death. He's an assassin. That's what he does. After we went into combat, and then my Demon Prince kills all but one Saurus warrior, and he rolls like a 2 to stay. It was ridiculous, but he stayed, so I'm going to have to pulverize that unit to a man. Over here, the Chimera decides to get, after rolling 9 attacks, so I got 3 more for the tail, after rolling 9 attacks at this stupid thing needing 4s, I hit with 1 poison and 1 regular hit. Everything else missed. and he, I think, only to poison wounded. I think I rolled a 1 to wound with the strength 6 hit, or a 2. Either way, it didn't wound him. And so only 1 out of 9 attacks actually wounded the Old Blood, and he rolled a 5 for his armor save. So he puts 2 wounds on me. Luckily, I was within 12 inches of my Demon Prince, and I was able to stay on a 7. But yeah, he won by, it was an 8, a 7 or an 8. He won by 1 or 2. I think 1. And yeah, he was able to stay, but now he's sitting at half death, and it was really bad. All that momentum was just poofed. Over here, he got, I think it was Hand of Glory off on the Stegodon. Not that it really mattered. I was flubbing like crazy. He put 2 wounds on the Gorby's Chariot. 1 combat. I fled. I got away. Top of turn 5, his turn. As you can see, this is after movement. There's been some changes. He charged the Gorby's Chariot. It fled. He got away. Just things like that. But yeah. The Carnosaur charged the Tzeentch Warriors. I failed. I'm like, stand, let's do this. I got this. I go before everything. I'm going to cut that Carnosaur out from under you. I forgot about Blood Roar. 3d6 minus the lowest. I rolled an 11. There's no BSB anymore because he got mulched by the Old Blood. So I fled. I fled 10 inches, but he was an inch away, and he's movement 6 or 7. So he ran down my Tzeentch Warriors again. Damn it! Here's after movement. The Chariot is further away. The Stegodon's chasing after him. The Carnosaur's across the table. Oh! Tzeentch Warriors, why? But the good part that happened in this turn is my Demon Prince was able to kill that last Saurus Warrior, and that felt pretty good. Oh yeah, and his Saurus Warriors with spears charging the flank of my Chimera, which pretty much spelled the end. But believe it or not, the Saurus Warriors failed their fear check. And during combat, as you can see, I traded a Chimera for his BSB. I saw the character in base with him. I was like, everything into your BSB. I can't hurt your Lord, so I'm going to kill your BSB. Get points for the BSB, get points for the model that has it. And it was something. Like I said, the Saurus Warriors failing their fear check. I think I hit and wounded him like 5 times. He made 2 of his saves. So 3 wounds onto the BSB. That gives me 2 combat res. It wasn't going to be enough to save him. All the Saurus Warriors failed to hurt him. And the old Blood on the cold one was able to put the last 2 wounds on the Chimera and just kill him off. So I traded a BSB for a Chimera. Point costs and stuff like that, I really can't complain. The Chimera always produces, so I'm not going to complain about that one. It was unfortunate that I flubbed against his Lord, but hey, sometimes you can't win them all. And in this situation, I think I did the best I could. Bottom of turn 5 before movement, the board looks a little something like this. Everything's kind of positioned to just hot death. Here's after movement. My Demon Prince and my Mutilith charge into the unit of Saurus Warriors with spears because they turn to face after killing the Chimera. My Chaos Sorcerer runs up so he can't be charged by the Old Blood or anything else. The Hellstriders, after 5 turns, finally get into the Slan. I think, honestly, my opponent just didn't see that coming. And I'm grateful for that. That blindness was good. And the Stegodon, or the Gorby's Chariot, rallies and turns to face the charge from the Stegodon. I knew he had sharpened horns at this point, so I just figured that Gorby's Chariot was going to distract him from getting into anything else. My magic phase was negligible. I don't think anything got off. I think I tried to Irresistible Force through Infernal Gateway and it was Carnosaur because I wanted those points, and I just could not get it to go off. I either rolled exactly what I needed and he easily dispelled it, or I didn't roll it at all. Over here, this was huge. I was like, excellent. I'm into your Slan. I've got a chance. I've got to fight him. I've got to win this combat. I've got to get rid of your Lord. Over here with the Demon Prince and a Mutilith in there. I don't care how cold-blooded they are. When you have a Demon Prince and a Mutilith in your ranks and your infantry, you get nervous. And I promise you, those Saurus Warriors were shaking in their little Saurus Warrior boots. So yeah, we get into combat, and I find out that this is when I find out that his Slan is not ethereal. And I was like, oh my god, this is huge. Everybody can hurt him. So the skink actually, I think, had higher initiative. I'm not 100% on that, but I think he just got his attack. I think we went Simo. He actually hit and he actually wounded. And I lost a Hellstrider to a skink, which actually was kind of funny. Let's face it, a skink. Whenever a skink kills anything, it's kind of funny. But yeah, he actually got a hold of one. But then I attack, and I'm able to get 2 wounds through, and so charge, flank, banner, and 2 wounds. He did a wound, so he loses by 4. He needs, what is it? He needed a 5 to stay, and he failed. Ran that bastard down. I rolled a 7 to pursue, and he rolled a 7 to flee, and I ran that bastard down. I got him with Hellstriders. Glory! Glory! Yeah, that turned the game around right there. It was close. I was struggling to just defend against his magic phase. It was his boost and everything, and shutting down my magic was really hurting, and I got him. I took care of the problem. Granted, it was bottom of 5, but still, I got that bastard, and it felt great. Over here, as you would have assumed, the unit champion issues a challenge. My Demon Prince pulps him, and my Mutalith does a bunch of wounds. He takes a few in return, actually. The Sarsaurus did put up a fight, but it wasn't enough. I win combat. They're steadfast. This picture shows his old blood and his Carnosaur angled around. This is actually a picture from after movement in turn 6. I apologize. I forgot to take one after combat in turn 5, but this is basically where everything's at. So yeah, here's top of 6. Here's everything after movement. Like I said, there's a Carnosaur and the Old Blood positioned to look at the Demon Prince and the Mutalith. We realized after the fact that they would never be able to charge, so it was like, oops, our bad. The Hellstriders are just good. They're done. They're going to sit there and be happy. And my Chaos Sorcerer moves up a little bit to try to Irresistible Force through Infernal Gateway. I was hoping for the best, but planning for the worst. And yeah, over here, the Gorby's Chariot fails to rally. Fleeing and stuff like that. He lost combat again and he's fleeing, so yeah, there he is running away again. Over here, combat, there's no unit champion to soak up the damage. I've got 5 strength 6 hits and then d6 plus 2. I think I rolled 7 strength 5 hits for the Mutalith, and then 2 big Thunderstomps. I think they both rolled 5, so we just pulverized that unit. I take no more wounds in return. He's still steadfast because he has that rank, and they stick. Bottom of turn 6, here's what the table looks like. As you can see, really no change other than Saurus Warriors are no longer in the unit. As I said, the Gorby's Chariot fails to rally and he runs off the table. So, yay. He was sitting on 4 wounds anyway. He only had 1 left. And I finished off the Saurus Warriors. It's not even worth mentioning. It was obvious. It was an easy outcome. And I'm just grateful I got the points. Of course, my magic phase, I throw 6 dice at the Carnosaur for Infernal Gateway and fail to roll a 16. Just 1s and 2s on 6 dice. It just didn't cut it. So it was unfortunate, but you can't have everything. And there it is. There's the board at the end of the game. Yeah, it was a real intense game, real brutal, real bloody. All the infantry died, with the exception of my sorcerer. There's no infantry on the table. it was brutal. Just a real quick shameless solicitation here. These are my banners. These are the pride and glory of the army. I mean, just look at them. These are all handmade, just customized to my specifications. Different sizes, different shapes, different looks. Just phenomenal, phenomenal banners. And right there is the email address of the individual that does that. He works on commission. Please, if you're looking for something extra to really make your army shine, these banners that this guy makes is the way to go. They're not overly expensive, anywhere from $15 to $60 or so, depending on the amount of detail or the size. They're just really phenomenal banners. Please, if you want to really add that something extra, that unique something extra to your army, give this guy a shout on email. He works great with you. He will really bend over backwards to give you what you need. And, he's dedicated to Slaanesh, so he's all about pleasure. But yeah, I don't get anything to make if you guys go over there. You don't even have to mention that you saw it on this site. It's just on this YouTube channel. So, don't worry about hooking me up. Just go to this guy and get a banner. It's totally worth it. It really, really is. But anyway, yeah, it was a victory for me. I mean, just barely. I think I won by like 200 points or something like that. Barely. And it was at the very end of the game that I pulled it off. Just a great game, the whole game. I ended up losing my Chimera. The Gorebeast Chariot ran away. My Nurgle Warriors just had a bad luck. Just all that hate. Nobody could have stood up to that. They stood up for it as long as they could. I'm really proud of them. They did well. The Tzeentch Warriors, Blood Roar. Oh, that Carnosaur is the bane of their existence, let me tell you. And, of course, my BSB got pulverized because he couldn't hit. Lord Rigel, my opponent, he got killed again. By Hellstriders. Hooah! Both these Unitosaurus warriors got killed. His Bastiladon got killed. His Ancient Stegorodon got killed, and his BSB died. It was another really good, really close game. I have no complaints. Not one. I enjoyed the hell out of this game. There was no clear winner until round 6. And even then, we had to total up the points just to determine it. It was so close. And yeah, the Demon Prince just... No Saurus Warrior was safe from my Demon Prince. I love my Demon Prince. My Mutalith did great. Really, the Hellstriders were definitely the MVP of the game. That 5 turns stalking the Slan thing was huge. But yeah, it just really paid off in the end, and I was real proud of the way everything worked out. So yeah, no complaints on either way, and I can't wait to face against this guy again. He's still one of my favorite opponents. But yeah. Thank you once again for watching my battle reports on this channel. I'm really enjoying doing it, really enjoying the comments and the loyalty and everything. Thank you, everybody. And like I said, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints about this battle report or any of the others, feel free to put them in the comments section below, and I'll get to them. I like to respond. I'm a narcissist. No. Thanks again, guys.